I am informed by the Integrity Reporting Services Agency that the agency has received referrals and investigated on its own initiative 30 cases since March 2017. The agency decided not to proceed in 10 cases and referred 20 cases amounting to approximately 1.4 billion rupees to the Integrity Reporting Board. However, the board has directed that no further action should be taken in 17 cases, either because it was satisfied that the source or sources of funds used to acquire the properties were legitimately obtained, or that the origin of the source or sources of funds used to acquire the properties fell outside the 7-year time limit in accordance with Section 3 of the Good Governance and Integrity Act 2015. I'm also informed that the board is considering further action regarding the 3 remaining cases, and that the agency does not disclose the values of property which may be subject to forfeiture, nor does it comment on individual cases in line with Section 21 of the Good Governance and Integrity Reporting Act 2015.
Yes. Can I ask the Honourable Minister whether those cases that were reported to the board, are there any cases that relate to the super cashback goal, and also whether any cases related to drug dealings?
Madam Speaker, unfortunately, I can restrict myself to only information which can be divulged under the Act. So I cannot give details of cases which were referred.
Yes, but I would rather ask the Honourable Minister whether he would not find it proper, in light of good governance and transparency, that the board gives reason why such and such person or cases has not been prosecuted, like in the case of the DPP, when cases are being struck out or not going forward, whether it would be good for the board, in the name of good governance and transparency, to issue any communique or things like that.
Madam Speaker, the member has a valid point. I propose to take this matter with the board in future.
Honourable Utim.
Speaker, the Honourable Minister started by saying that 20 cases were referred to the board, totaling 1.4 billion rupees. And then he said there were only 3 cases where further action is being taken, but he can't tell us how much these are worth. So why is it for the 20 cases that are not being prosecuted, 1.4 billion, he's able to say it, but for the 3 cases that is being prosecuted, he's not able to give us the figures?
30 cases give an ordre de grandeur, whereas when it comes to 3 cases, it is easy to I don't have the information, unfortunately.
Yes, Honourable Bagwan, I'll come back to you.
Minister, in the public interest, because the population want to know whether there is one case which concerns the brother of a very senior advisor of the Prime Minister's office, also known as Mr. Prancas, and whether there has been any political intervention, because that person who was supposed his case was there, is a specialist in shirt manufacturing or whatever, singlet manufacturing, and how come so many millions have been allowed to go in the net? How can? Has the minister inquired with the board? Has he discussed with the chairperson?
Madam Speaker, possibly that case should be there, but I must say that the board constitutes of very senior members of the legal profession, and unfortunately I cannot give details of cases. That's as per the law.
Referring to the previous PQ that the Honourable Minister mentioned, that is PQ B27, whereby, I quote, he said, the board had agreed to meet at least once every month. So, can I ask the Honourable Minister, since the inception of the board, and more specifically from March 2017, how many times did the board meet?
Madam Speaker, the board is chaired by Lord Phillips, who is a well-known figure. I know that he comes to Mauritius from time to time whenever there are cases to be reviewed. But based on, I don't have the information as to how many times they have met. Yeah.
Last question on this issue, Honourable Ratna.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in relation to the 3 cases that has been recommended by the board to proceed with, can I ask the Honourable Minister whether he is aware, or at least give some indication as to the stage of proceedings that those 3 cases have reached yet?
Unfortunately, I cannot give this information because I'm restricted under.
Next question, Honourable Amemia.